Welcome everyone to the conclusion of the Green Mountain Championship. This is the final round back nine coverage brought to you by GKPRO and DISCRAFT. My name is Paige Pierce.
And I'm Missy Gannon.
And we are out here at Fox Run. If you guys tuned in to the front nine, you saw a lot of action. And this back nine, I'm sure, is going to be full of some also.
Yeah, I mean, you could see this battle going on for first place, back and forth. You are currently in the lead by 1 going into this back nine. Hailey's right behind you. Sarah's holding on to that third place spot at 1 down right now. And yeah,
we're fighting for some tour championship points. Sarah Hokom's in 4th, looking to try to make a move up on the leaderboard. And Hailey King sitting in 11th currently. She hasn't played as many pro tours, so that's why she's so far back. You got to assume she's going to get bumped up quite a bit after this finish.
For sure. And hole 10 at 315 feet, par 3, plays slightly downhill, kind of over this first initial hill. OB all along the left side, and it plays really well for a nice soft forehand, but there is OB pretty close behind the basket as well. Also a gentle turning backhand shot. You really just have to miss that right side tree in the middle of the fairway.
So I'll be up first, and I'm going with my Crystal Fierce here. I went OB deep in round 2, so I'm trying to take a little bit of speed off of this one. And just too much speed taken off. I'm going to be OB short right, just about circle's edge. Sarah with her trace.
Hanging it out, left, wide, just looking for not quite that reaction, but she's inside the circle, looking uphill at that basket.
Hailey with the Onyx sidearm.
A little higher.
Nice and wide.
Yep. Needs to kind of just chill. Yep. All right. She's inbounds, pin high.
Cat with a backhand here, M4. Need to keep this one wide so you don't find the OB as I did on the right. And she doesn't quite get enough turn on it. It is going to hold on. It will not be out of bounds, but she's going to be well left. And this is a very scary green.
Running it. Oh.
What do you guys think about this spot?
So this will be to save par, seeing Hailey 15 feet from the basket.
Sit.
I felt like I really needed to make that one.
Oh, sit. No, 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 no. Oh.
And that will roll out of bounds. So Hokom is taking a moment to decide whether she wants to putt from there or re-putt from the same lie. If your putt does roll out of bounds, you do have this option. She opts for the re-putt.
Don't.
Can't quite get it high enough.
Absolutely don't.
Oh my
My
God.
goodness. Right about just behind where her spot was.
So she switches putters and putting styles even, she says.
Man.
And it's hard to shake that off 2 in a row. She even mentioned that she hadn't had a double bogey all weekend, and that was a triple.
Wow.
Hailey, quite a bit different story. Picking up a birdie here, picking up a lot of strokes on each of us, picking up 2 on myself. She will regain the lead by 1.
And that'll even close the gap for that third place spot. Haven't quite seen where the chase cards are sitting, but you know, that puts Sarah and Catrina a little bit closer.
Yeah, it sure does. And they're fighting for that podium spot now.
And moving into hole 11, 535 feet, par 4. Pretty wide open fairway. There is that whole hillside is OB on the left side, as well as the trees on the right. And really, you're just trying to set yourself up for your best approach to this very tight and technical green that does play downhill. That second shot is very difficult, and you kind of have a few options, but being a little bit straighter off the tee definitely lines you up with a straight shot into that green. Hailey going with a big power hyzer right in the middle of the fairway. She'll be looking straight down that tunnel into the green.
Cat with her X3 again here. She knows it's very stable, so she's aiming wide, but just puts a little bit too much torque on it. She's going to be on the right side, and from there it's pretty difficult to get into the gap. This is my Zeus trying to go wide to make sure I don't go B left. This one came out a little bit higher than I wanted, but high is fine just as long as it's not left or right.
Yeah, and you get quite a bit of distance too, so swinging back into the center. Looks like a good spot. Sarah going forehand, hanging it over the OB, trying to just fade right back into the middle. This gap is so small, and there are a few options, but definitely the biggest gap is that right side gap where you see that green flag. And you're kind of poking and hoping if you have to go wide.
Hailey kind of went through the trees. It did get through, but it hit one of the late trees on the right. She's going to be outside the circle. Catrina, like we said, she's pinched over there. She threw a good angle on it, but it's just so hard to access the green from there. She's going to be outside circle 2.
You're staring right at that gap with an Anheuser line. Crystal Fierce just tracking right to the basket.
That one takes so much touch. I felt very happy with that one because there is OB deep. So a little bit too much speed, you will find an out-of-bounds stroke. Hokom decides she wants no part of that OB and lays up.
And Kat being on that left side, just so many trees to contend with. Doesn't quite get through.
Now she's left with this for par.
Whoa, great
And
putt.
hits it. Wow. That was still outside the circle, too.
Yeah.
And downhill death putt. Hailey also a death putt, but she's even with the basket.
That's it.
And that is just so unfortunate. It's not like she missed it low or left or right and it went OB deep. It hit the basket and gets an unfortunate roll. She does hit the comebacker, though, to save the bogey. But I will be picking a stroke back up on her here. Actually, 2 strokes. If I can hit this putt right here. We're just trading strokes back and forth.
Yeah.
Those 2 she just got on the last hole. Now I got back, and we're into hole 12.
Yeah, 645 feet, par 4, kind of split up into 2 fairways. There's this initial fairway that you're just trying to land in this left zone as far up as possible to give yourself the best position to attack this green, which is going to be another very big flexing shot to get inside the circle. You can see all of that red OB, surrounding these 2 fairways. It's all about position on this tee shot.
Yeah, so I'm going as hard as I can with my Raptor on a very severe hyzer, making sure I get it far enough left, but not too far to go out of bounds. The closer you get to there, the better your footing is. It's a really weird slant on this approach. So if you're close enough, you do have flat footing.
Cat also going wide, hyzer, trying to make sure it swings back. She's way up by that OB line, but stay safe.
Hokom with the sidearm play. She's not trying to get quite as far as we are. She's just trying to keep it far enough left to where it's on the top of that hill.
Yeah, kind of plateaus there.
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty flat footing as well, just a little bit shorter.
Hailey now with her vulture.
Going
Opting,
straight,
yeah, more of
yeah.
a straight line at it.
Relying on that little bit of fade. Yeah, she'll find herself just behind you.
Hokom's got a lot of ground left to cover from here. She's going big flex shot. Try to get as much D as she can. And still finds herself outside circle 2. Hailey now with her Zeus.
Yeah,
Full drive.
Yeah, and she was, you know, just left enough of those trees that she can put a nice power on this drive. What is she, just around circle's edge?
Yeah, circle's edge. So I'm trying to get mine a little bit closer. This is my Undertaker. Threw it really well in round 2, but this one I put too much power on.
Come on.
And it's going to find the right side branches and drop me short just outside the circle.
But safe. Cat way up this initial fairway. Oh, just a little low. Yeah, didn't quite get the distance that she could have gotten on that. She'll be coming up short. So Sarah just looking to pitch up to the base of this basket. Does it nicely.
Have to imagine Catrina is doing the same thing here. It's very far away.
Mm.
And I'll be up first, and I know Hailey's running that one, so I'm definitely running this one.
Ooh.
It's not quite high enough there.
Let's see. All right, just a few steps outside of circle 1. Oh.
And right in the center. Beautiful putt from Hailey. And seems like she didn't even feel any pressure there.
Nope. It's just practice, you know?
Drops it in and will close the gap. We are now tied again.
Let's see. Kat and Sarah walking away with pars as we head over to the other side of the course again. You will also be taking a par. So hole 13 playing at 375 feet, par 3. Light hyzer off to the left, but you're really just trying to aim for that telephone pole in the middle of the fairway. And if you still have a good height on your disc and you're getting a little bit of fade right by the telephone pole, that'll bring you right into this green. There is OB all along the right side and that wraps around behind the green.
Hailey with the vulture here. She left this one a little too low in round 2, so she's trying to get that height here. And she definitely does. She's going to be inside the circle.
Beautiful.
And even skips even closer.
Yeah. Gets through those last few trees.
This is my Raptor. Like you said, I'm aiming right at the telephone pole, just trying to lose speed right at it.
All right, back door. Whoa.
Cutting right in front,
Dang it,
just
hit
get a
the
few
floor.
skips. All right.
So pretty similar distance to Hailey. Catrina now. A driver.
Looks like a little bit too much hyzer, but if it can get through. All right, she'll be behind Hailey a little ways. What, just inside the circle?
Yep. And Hokom goes with the backhand on this one.
All right, good power.
Yeah, nice and wide. not quite high enough. It's going to stay on that hillside. And she doesn't really have a chance to make this one, so she's just going to put it up under the basket
Sit.
and take a par.
Pretty open look, maybe a couple of low-hanging branches. Cat's putt.
Oh, and it
Oh,
hangs on.
nice birdie there.
So I'm up first. I need to hit this one because I know Hailey's a little
yeah.
closer.
Keeping the pressure on.
Dead center.
Awesome.
So we both take the birdie and we are still tied moving into hole 14. And Sarah and Catrina are very close. Catrina carding another birdie there closes the gap by one more stroke.
This is Poison Ivy, and I'm gonna rub it on my skin to show you how Atex works. So the reason why so many people have a problem with Poison Ivy is the irritant in Poison Ivy is an oil, which means you can't just wash it off with water or wipe it off with a towel. So that's where Atex comes in. So all you have to do is wipe it, and right now what the product is doing is absorbing all the oils into the product. Just wipe off the product with a towel, and now all of the harmful oils are on the towel instead of my arm.
And we're on hole 14, 275 feet, par 3, uphill the entire way with OB all along the right side, wrapping around the green. And there's a few different options. I think you'll see a lot of players go up this straight gap and just trying to hit this gap perfectly and get a nice little, slow speed skip up to the basket. There is also a hyzer option. As long as you put it long enough and swing left, you will be up by that green as well.
Hailey with the onyx going up the center gap. She gets a nice little skip forward and she has about a 15-foot putt, maybe even less. I'm going for the same gap here with my Raptor. This one has a little more height and speed on it. I'm gonna find myself pin high, but just outside the circle on the left side.
Kat looking like she's lining up that hyzer option. Just needs to have the legs to skip up through there, and it does. Should be relatively unobstructed.
Hokom with the turnover sidearm into that gap. Turns it a little too much and hits the tree barriers. She's going to be 60 feet, maybe a little inside that.
Needing to put this on Anheuser.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good angle. Great angle just under the cage. So this is from just outside the circle.
Yeah.
And this is a huge putt for me. Seeing that Hailey's only about 10 feet away, I know I have to hit this.
Sweet. Hill pressure putt, but we know Hailey has that all day, keeping it locked up at the top.
Now, if Kat can hit this, she ties it up with Sarah. And she does.
Going into a tricky hole 15, 325 feet, par 3, very tight and wooded. Also bends off to the right as well. So you need to throw your trustiest, right fading or turning disc. It's slightly downhill, so it really doesn't play that far, but just this line is so technical and so specific. Sets up well for a forehand, as you can see Hailey lining up right now.
Round 2, she also late released and kicked to the right. This time it kicks to the left. I think the left side's actually a little bit easier to get up and down from. So I'm really trying to focus on hitting this gap and just smooth it too much, a little too soft out of my hand. And I'm going to be in a very bad position over there on the right side.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get when you're off the fairway on this hole, but you're never assuming it's going to be good. A lot of trees.
Catrina pulls this one too tight, but somehow it gets a little weird movement in the air and gets way down there. Hokom with the hyzer flip to flat.
Keeping it low, maybe getting, flare skip.
She's got this shot down. This is 2 gorgeous drives on this hole.
So what are you looking at here?
Yeah, I have nothing. So I'm just trying to pitch up a jump putt around this corner and try to get myself onto that short pad. It has a little too much spin on it, so it kind of glides past that into the woods. Hailey, being on that left side, has a step out sidearm with her zone into the gap.
Yeah.
Little short, but inside the circle. So I was trying to land on that tee pad, but I just went just too far. So I have this step out sidearm through this gap.
And you got to put this one close.
And I loved it. It got a little weird skip, but I'm still within 15 feet.
Cat just about circle 2's edge. Ooh. Good line, just coming up a little short.
Hokom now to take a stroke back on Cat. I couldn't even tell how that missed. Was that over
I think it was high. Yeah,
okay.
That was an optical illusion.
Looked like a great putt. Hailey now to take a stroke on me. Slightly obstructed.
Oh,
Just barely low right. Hokom connects for par as Cat's sitting under it for par as well. If I hit this, there's no movement on this hole at all. And that's pretty fortunate for both of us, We both mess up the tee shot and take bogeys. If one of the two of us pures it, it could be a completely different story going into hole 16.
yeah, and hole 16 is very difficult. It requires a nice placement tee shot through this very tight tunnel at 595 feet. It is a par 4, also kind of a 2 fairway deal going on. You need to try to lay up as close to the first OB line as possible in front of that gap to be able to throw a big shot to attack the screen from there. That does open up a little bit more.
Catrina now with a mid, right in position. center of the fairway, a little bit short, but she definitely has the distance to get to the basket from there.
You're kind of trying to land up by that last tee pad, but you still never know what you're going to get with your footing.
Hokom a little too tight. She is going to be clipping a branch and finding herself on the right side there.
Hailey with a mid. Pulls it off to the right. Oh, that was a fortunate kick back to the middle of the fairway. She is very short, but man, if she was off in those right side trees, it could have been way worse.
This is my big Z Fierce here, just trying to keep it on a hyzer angle. The worst place I could be is in the woods on the right. Kind of a iffy spot there, but I feel good about being on the fairway. Now Hailey's up first, and she's going for it. This is with a Zeus, and
No
she
way.
is going to find out of bounds. I am questioning why she went for that one. She was out of position.
Man, that's just such a crazy turn of events there. I just wouldn't have expected her to make a mistake like that late in the game here. You know, still kind of figuring out those
Yeah.
battle jitters, you know, and maybe just,
And seeing me up here in position,
yeah.
knowing I got the birdie on it in round 2, maybe that influenced her decision to go for it. She didn't want to lose 2 strokes. Yeah, but just an interesting decision there. Now I won't even have to hit that 40-footer to get a stroke.
Oh, a little bit turned over. There is OB on that right side.
Oh, and just barely OB. That grass is just a tiny bit taller, so kind of velcroed the disc down.
And she'll be quite a bit short crossing that OB.
Hailey now needs to get up and down.
Oh, this is right too. Work back. Come on.
And it is safe. Just barely safe. And she will get to take a meter in, so she'll be inside the circle, but just barely.
Sarah pitching up her third shot. She'll be a little on the right side.
But she's safe, and her opponent that she's coming down the stretch battling is out of bounds.
Needing to put this one close, and she does.
Now this is from about 40 feet.
You running it?
I am running it. Just really weird footing, and I airball it actually.
And this is a big putt. You know, Hailey's already going to lose a stroke. She needs to hit this to minimize the damage just low.
Half an inch low. So I will be taking 2 strokes if I can make my comebacker. About 15-foot putt.
Nice get from Sarah there. Yeah, picking up that par, like you said, 2 strokes with 2 to play. Man, there, you know, these last 2 holes are definitely birdieable, and you just, I'm like, I don't know
I'm
what to think right
excited.
now.
I'm excited to have a little bit of breath now. I have
Sure.
the advantage heading into hole 17, but like you said, there's OB everywhere, and these holes are birdieable, so it could still be 2-stroke swings happening.
And these birdies, you know, require some big putts sometimes, especially on this hole 17, 395, plays downhill. It is a par 3. It's kind of a quirky angle. It's like a severe hyzer, but you need something that's going to glide enough and not dump too much into this green. Still kind of a weird angle, and it's tough to figure out sometimes. You got to hug this left side. Sarah's got a pretty good angle on this, but just not quite high enough and will come up short into circle 2.
So this is my Raptor. Trying to go high and tight.
Yeah, get up there. Wow.
Very happy for that skip. You do not want to test her putt on this hole, especially that high elevated. And Hokom with that par on the last hole does take the lead over Catrina. But Catrina's, oh my gosh, it looks like it's almost acing. She's going to be inside the circle looking to get that stroke back.
That is going to be such an elevated putt from down there, but
Hailey going with the tight hyzer as well.
oh,
And she's just barely farther away than I am, but
Wow.
she's inside 20 feet.
she almost hit right where your disc
Yeah,
was
she
sitting.
did.
All right, Sarah just choosing to lay up here, doesn't want any part of that death putt. Kat sitting behind the basket inside the circle, severely elevated. But she is definitely going to run this putt.
Oh,
Right,
Hailey for birdie.
gotta make this. All right. Still likely gonna stick with that 2-stroke deficit behind you. If you can make this putt right here.
Anything can happen on hole 18.
Yeah,
though.
right.
Wow, one of the scariest finishing holes I've ever seen.
You're feeling a little more comfortable, but certainly
Yeah,
not like you're gonna take it that easily with 18 left.
Hokom with the par will keep that 1-stroke lead over Catrina for the 3rd place spot.
And, you know, one nice thing here is that we did not have any wind, which is not a usual thing to finish this hole out. 705 feet, par 4. It's just going to require a big shot that's going to stay in bounds. I mean, that's just the name of the game on this hole. Stay in bounds, get yourself maybe towards the left side. It will open up that approach to the basket. But with these big arm throws, you may not even have to think about that. You're going big, way over that OB the entire way. Enough distance to get in front of the tree. That usually is an obstacle for most people on this hole, so that's got to feel great.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you go OB on the right, you're re-teeing essentially. So a lot of players are aiming a little bit more left, but I know I have the distance to get over that. Just had to trust my Zeus there. And Hailey's doing the same. This is her Zeus getting a lot of distance.
Perfect, man.
Hokom needs to keep this one in bounds.
Oh no, doesn't get the turn or wide enough, and she is going to be well short in that right side OB. But at least she'll be able to advance somewhat down the fairway, but this totally gives the green light to Kat.
Kat needs to land this in bounds. And she's just going with a safe hyzer here. She's not getting as much distance as she could, but she is 100% safe. Never a doubt on that shot.
Sarah's still going on that wide left side, looking to swing back. She was way back there. It was going to take a huge shot to get inside the circle, so she will find herself outside of circle 2 with Kat staring down this green.
Kat can get close. She might be able to get this outright 3rd place.
What a
And
pretty
she's
shot.
inside the circle.
Yeah.
So this could be a 2-stroke swing here. If Hokom can't make hers and Kat does, she's going to take solo 3rd.
All right. Hailey again, just needing to put this one close. Little long, but that's going to do it, at least for her birdie. So the pressure's on you to put this shot just close. You know,
Yeah,
you've got 2 strokes.
I'm thinking just keep it short because
Yep.
there is OB deep. Anything but long.
And that is just about all you needed to do.
Hokom outside of circle 2. Can't really make this. She's just trying to put it close and make Catrina make this putt. If she does, she's earned it. But can't quite connect. So they will be tying for 3rd place.
Hailey getting that birdie, man. She put on quite a fight this weekend, not letting up until the last 3 holes of the tournament. What a great showing from Hailey. We know she has it in her. She's just such a great competitor and well-rounded athlete.
She's got every shot in her bag. And just the putting machine. I'm very fortunate to hold on to this one with a charging
Ladies and
Hailey
gentlemen,
King
your
coming
2020
up.
Congratulations to
champion,
you. Always
Paige
fun to see a
Pierce.
battle. Always fun to play in a battle, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
That's why we do it.
So that 7 under final round secured the lead by 2. And like we said, Catrina and Sarah tying for that 3rd place spot with Jessica Wees close behind at 5 over. What a tournament.
Yeah.
Beautiful time here in Vermont. And we got some Pro Tour point updates. Sarah Hokom does move up closer to Missy Gannon, but you still are holding on to that
Holding
3rd
on.
place spot. And we are headed straight to Maple Hill. We have a 5-day turnaround. So if you guys are enjoying this coverage, make sure you guys subscribe to GKPRO. We'll be bringing you guys some more coverage very soon. So thank you guys. We'll see you at the next one.